morning, everybody. I'm Lex Ursa. I hope you all are ready for another night exploration video. Today, I am going to visit a place called the Brubaker Covered Bridge. This is a covered bridge located near the village of Gratis, Ohio. Gratis is a small town in Preble County, Ohio. Preble County is sort of west of Dayton. It's between Dayton and the Indiana border. This bridge, some fun facts about it. This bridge was built in 1887 and it was fully restored around 25 years ago. It's also, fun fact, something I've found out is that it's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, which is, there's everything above a certain age seems to be listed on the National Register of Historic Places, but I just thought it was a nice little fun fact for everybody. But that's not the reason why I'm driving out here in the middle of the night to go see a covered bridge. I'm going because this bridge has a story attached to it, and it is apparently supposed to be haunted. This bridge is specifically a Crybaby Bridge. Now, if you don't know what a Crybaby Bridge is, I'll give a short explanation of it. A Crybaby Bridge is an urban legend involving a bridge that is supposed to be haunted. Specifically, if you go out at night to the bridge, you're supposed to be able to hear a baby's cry. This legend, this Crybaby Bridge legend, is very popular in Ohio, and a couple other states. I want to say maybe Connecticut also has some Crybaby Bridge stories, but Ohio has a lot of them. Now, this information, all the stories I'm going to tell you about this bridge, comes from the Crybaby Bridge Project on the website strangeandspookyworld.com. So, this is internet sourcing, it's not going to be, and plus it's all urban legends, so a lot of this is oral and has been passed down over generations. So, take it with a grain of salt. Now, there are two stories that are associated with this bridge. One is this is a very common Crybaby Bridge, background story, and it involves a young mother who has a child out of wedlock. And this is supposed to be back at the time where having a child out of wedlock was more taboo than it is now. So the woman feels that she can't keep the baby, and she ends up throwing her child off the bridge. I should have mentioned, these are some very heavy stories, so fair warning about that. But she throws her child off the bridge, and after realizing what she's done, she's grief-stricken and she's sort of horrified. She ends up throwing herself off the bridge. Now, the second version of the tale, the young mother is happily married, and she has her baby, and through some series of circumstances, the woman ends up trying to cross the bridge at night with her child, and her and the child are supposedly struck by a car and thrown into the river below. Now, what's interesting, luckily, there appears to be no evidence that either of these events happened. In fact, this Crybaby Bridge, this story, these legends, were not the first ghost stories attached to the bridge. There are a couple earlier ones involving the ghost of a 6-year-old boy who was kidnapped, and then a story of the bridge being haunted by a group of teenagers who were involved in a car accident. So, you know, this story has less evidence or documentation compared to some of the other bridges that I visited, namely Gore Orphanage Road, which had a lot of that story, that legend had a lot of elements that were true, and things that, you know, could have melded together through word of mouth and things like that, and would have led to the story that we have today. Now, this bridge specifically is close to a bridge that I would say is more famous in terms of the urban legend, and that is the Fudge Road Crybaby Bridge. I believe it's less than a couple miles actually from the Fudge Road Crybaby Bridge. Unfortunately, I'm not going to visit that Crybaby Bridge. There's a lot of issues with the local residents around that bridge, of, you know, teenagers harassing them, you know, going and visiting the bridge late at night, and the local residents don't like it, and so there will be police officers there and all that. So unfortunately, I'm not going to try to access and visit that bridge tonight. Instead, we're going to go visit this covered bridge. We'll see if anything spooky happens. So it's a Saturday night. I've got nothing else to do. Let's go visit this bridge. Oh yeah, there is one more thing that I want to mention before we get to the bridge, and that is that there's a little surprise for this video when we get there. Something that I thought, you know, I'd like to try while filming, and we'll see if you guys like it. So that's one thing I forgot to mention during my whole spiel before getting to the bridge. Okay, that was very weird. My location services, or, you know, my GPS, Apple Maps, whatever, just sort of died on me there. It didn't tell me where I was, so it took a second for me to get my bearings and remember where I'm at. But I'm on Brubaker Road right now. Not necessarily the the interstate, is it? It's not I-71. I guess I'm supposed to make a right up here, so. I think this is it. Yes, it is. I believe there's supposed to be sort of like a there's supposed to be parking lot here, I want to say. Nope, it's somebody's house. Oops. I don't know if you can tell by the drop in video quality, but I am filming this on an old, 2000s camcorder from Sony. I thought, well, if we're going out to a rural road in the middle of the night to visit an old haunted bridge, allegedly, why don't we go the full, oh, it's sorry, I'm trying to adjust now. Why don't we go the full, do the whole Blair Witch Project look. So I might change it to night vision after a little bit, but let's do some walking. So there you go, 1887. So I did turn it to night vision. I don't know if it helped any, but there's some bridge info. Well, I can't really hear any crying right now, but the creek sound is kind of spooky. I don't see anything. On the camera, you can't see the end of the bridge. You can definitely see why, ghost stories might have popped up about this bridge. It's really out of the way, sort of comes out of nowhere, and it's definitely got this eerie vibe to it. I think I'm going to go back and use my iPhone and get some nicer shots for you guys as well. I'm realizing that this might be a little hidden. It's very dark and this flashlight isn't near bright enough. Okay, here you go. This might be a little better. Next time I'll bring up a bigger flashlight. I do find it funny on these bridges, they'll have these signs, like, is that a, yeah, that's a semi. Who's driving a semi over this? Especially since it's out in the middle of nowhere. Somebody might be coming. I hear a car. Definitely not a place to, well, I suppose you could camp here if you wanted to. Sort of look down there and see the creek. I think this is a creek. I think they might be like Sam's Creek, Sam's Run or something like that. It'd be down there actually. scared myself. And the way this is, you know, you've got anybody that comes along, you're driving down that way, it curves, it makes a pretty sharp curve before you come in here, so you wouldn't be able to see if anybody was in here. See what I mean? See what I mean? Well, something just moved. Well, this was fun and all, but I haven't heard any crying, and I think I better go home. Well, as we make one more pass through this bridge, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. There's at least like 5 more Crybaby Bridges, at least in Ohio, that I could go visit, and a bunch of other places that I can do night drives to. Or maybe you just want to see me do night drives. I could do night drives down some back roads, and other things like that. So, again, I'm like Sursa. Have a nice evening.